Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of P&P's Den of Antiquities. It's been a minute. There's been a lot of news going on. Visions just wrapped. Mando just wrapped. We had so many things that just wrapped. So we're here to talk about them. And first, we're going to do a Visions tier list ranking. I got my buddies Charlie and JT with me. Hello there.
Hey.
You guys have seen them. They're always on. They're always hanging out and kicking it. So. All right, let me get the tier list going for you guys. All right, so basically how this is going to go, we got Jedi Master, Jedi Knight, and Padawan. Padawan being obviously the lesser, Jedi Master being the better version. So these are already in order, so we're just going to go through like 1 through 8. The first one is Siths. What did you guys think? Well, actually, before we're gonna circle back to this. Actually, I'm jumping the gun. I'm excited because I get to talk to you guys. What did you guys think about Vision Season 2? Let's start with that, and then we'll go to the tier list ranking.
Well, for me, it was just like Season 1, unfortunately, but also fortunately, because I did get some cool stuff out of it. But it was like a hit and a miss. There were some things that I like. I liked some episodes. I tolerated aspects of other episodes, and then I just flat out didn't like singular episodes. You know,
that's fine.
It's very all around the board, which is, I guess, what they're going for to begin with, doing this experimental Star Wars thing with the different studios and all that. But yeah, that's about where I stand for Season 2.
Yeah, that's totally fair, man. That's totally fair. Charlie, what about you, man?
Man, I'm all about me some Visions love.
Nice.
And the brilliant thing about this show in particular, how they do Visions is it's not canon. It's like the Marvel What If and everything. Yeah. If anybody's familiar with those and everything like that. So like, even if you like, that was ridiculous. Why would you do that? And you just like, don't worry about it. It's just a tale from another galaxy far, far way out there. Mixed up a little bit there, but no, and if you really liked it and everything like that, sometimes they do publish audiobooks and continue the stories and stuff like that, like they did Ronin.
Yeah, I need to get that one. I heard that one's really good.
It is phenomenal. I bought the hardcover and the audio.
Oh, nice. Is the audio, do they do like the Star Wars lightsabers and like the sound effects and all that?
Yes, they do, and they put the John Williams in there and everything.
Ooh, okay.
But so, yes, 1,000%. I don't think it'll top Season 1, but they're just like dittoing off brother from another mother, JT's, what he said. There's some amazing kyber crystal gems in there that are forever amazing, and one definitely honorable mention that I cannot neglect, because I do not want to be that guy.
Yeah, we'll come up on. I think I know which one you're talking about. We'll talk about that one when it comes up. But no, I mean, both your guys' assessments I think are fair. I agree that out of the two, I think this is like my lesser of the two. I love all the art style. Like that's the thing about Visions 2 is like not only are they like not canon, but like even if I don't really like the story, I can appreciate the art style. Like all of the art styles in Visions, every single episode, it's cool. Because it's different and it's like they're just trying to swing and try something experimental. So, but yeah, I mean, I won't beat a dead horse. My opinion is pretty much the exact same as your guys' opinion. So we can let's get to the tier list. All right. So first, let me make this full screen. There we go. First we got Sith. I got all of them pulled up because I was like, I'm not going to remember the names of all these. So this is the one with the Jedi and the droid like bounty hunters are also, I don't know, they didn't really say which ones it was, but what did you guys think about this one?
Yes. JT, go ahead, brother.
Okay. I wanted to like this one. There were aspects of it that I did like. I loved the Grievous motorbike thing.
Yeah, that's cool.
I like that little crab droid that rolls around. He's pretty cute. And the Sith voice, he's voiced by David Collins, who voices Proxy in The Force Unleashed.
Yeah, let's go.
Which is super dope. Not a crazy fan of his design because those little like ear tube things are kind of throwing me off. Maybe I don't know what it is. The art style's pretty neat. Like at the beginning, it's like watercolor, and then it turns into like this 3D effect.
Yeah.
I didn't like the katana I didn't like the katana side of the double-bladed lightsaber. Like, I see they were trying to go there with, like, their storytelling. It just didn't sit right with me. Having a straight edge and then the other half is a slight bend.
Yeah, that's fair.
But, yeah, probably the low end of Jedi Master for me.
I agree. What about you, Charlie?
Oh, man of my own heart. I'm just gonna say ditto on. I mean, I watched it and everything like that. The regular English dub and Japanese dub. Like I did with most, because I try and catch voices and stuff that I've heard from like other shows and stuff like that. But
which one do you like better? Do you like the dubbed or the sub?
This is my kryptonite, man. Anytime when I hear, like, I was like, man, that voice sounds very familiar. And then I watch an interview like a day or two later of Sam Witwer and David Collins talking about this. Like, yeah, I was the Sith and the Sith. Or like, Proxy. And so yeah, that's,
Master.
I remember you know the days. Yeah, so that was a plus for me. I love the idea. I love the art style. I love the idea of someone who is doing their own thing, maybe could have been past something. How it starts out abstract, white, facial almost colorless, and everything starts to get somewhat colors in there and everything like that. Get to the midpoint. JT, I love that point because when I was first watching, I didn't, look at it and everything, but I was like, kind of seems familiar. But yeah, I was like, oh my God, that is a Grievous getting away from Obi-Wan vehicle. And so that's I love that little thing. I love how whenever the Sith come into play and how the colors start to change very much and everything. It goes to orange and looks like kind of Tatooine a little bit. But I don't know, I really like that. Kind of dispenses with those and everything like that, and then gets down to the main event and everything. I like the colors of the sword design. As a sword wielder, it's not a blasphemy, but I will tolerate it. I like the choices that she said when she was doing it. When she got done with it,
yeah, she's not all good and she's not all bad. She's like
it's more tuned to the story, yeah.
So I will definitely ditto off of this and definitely put that under low Jedi Master, just because great story. I liked it, and David Collins, man, that's a kryptonite in my heart.
Yeah, it's a good one for sure. I think that I agree literally with everything you guys have said. It just like really got me was like, I think it really harkens back to like the struggle that George Lucas was trying to create, the power versus good and evil that's within you and the choices that you make. So I like that it was playing a kind of off of those themes, but yeah, Jedi Master, I think it's an appropriate place for that. Next we got Screecher's Reach. I actually thought this was pretty good. The art style isn't my favorite out of all of them, but I really liked the story behind it, But I'd love to hear what you guys thought about it.
Yeah, I mean, the story was enjoyable. It's probably as close as you can get to like something like Skeleton Crew that's going to be coming out, where they describe it as like Star Wars but the Goonies. Like, it focuses on this little group of kids that it's like a scary story, The part that I liked the most about it was the ending on how when that girl took out that Sith that was hiding in the cave, that was like the final step to becoming like the Sith in that like the final step in that direction, I guess, because then that Sith lady, whatever, showed up and she's like, "Come with me, child." No, they can't come too, just you. This was just like the Old Republic cinematic with what's his face? He's the white clothed brother and the dark clothed brother and the
Vitiate.
Arcan. Yeah, Arcan kills his brother and Vitiate's like, "Come, son."
Yeah.
It's just like that, which is cool to see for like the storytelling of like the Sith. They're not to be trusted. They're promising you this better life, but you're selling your soul.
Well, it's crazy because she's like willing to give up everything You know,
her friends that she's known forever too. Yeah,
because like you can see it on the older kid. I forget his name, but the older kid, he's like, don't go. But if you're gonna go, like, do what you got to do. You know, he's like, you shouldn't go, because he was like shaking his head. He's like, don't do it. And then she was like, should I? And you're just like, go, get the chance. You know. So it's. What are you guys thinking for the ranking?
JT.
High Jedi Knight, highest maybe.
I feel that. Next, we have In the Stars.
Correct.
I'm kind of mixed about this one, just because it's a super nitpick, and I shouldn't let it bother me, but it made no sense for the snowtroopers to be there.
No, it didn't make any sense at all.
They're not in the snow.
They could have had Minbin like mud troopers, you know.
That's what I'm saying. Something like it, like. They probably just like the studio probably just liked the design, right? And that's the ones that they wanted to go with. But for me, it took me out of it because like there's specific reasons why we only see certain troopers in certain areas, you know? So for me as if you were an everyday watcher, you probably wouldn't care. But like as a more of a hardcore Star Wars fan, I'm like, like it wasn't bad. Like the art style was cool. The story wasn't bad. It was just those troopers took me out of for some reason.
Yeah. Well, you want to expect. We can't really judge exactly where it is in this era because we know it's Empire because of the troopers and the ATST, but we don't know where it's taking place in what part of that story. But even then, you still kind of see it like as a Star Wars fan that appreciates the little things, like getting the stormtroopers right, like putting the things in the right places. That's kind of what you want to see with consistency, continuity, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can see why that would be a little nitpick.
Yeah. Really fast. I won't stay long. The Screecher.
Don't stay long.
No. The Screecher. Real fast. I forgot. I'm an idiot.
No, you're fine.
Dark. I love how dark it was. It reminded me of a very dark. It was the inverse of the hero's journey of Joseph Campbell. Love
for
that.
Sure.
Anyway, okay. On
it's like when you take the wrong step in the hero's journey.
Literally, everything.
Bad ending.
Yeah.
Jesus, dark. But okay, so yeah, this one, the stop animation, I was really not expecting. I mean, it did disjoint me. But I was just like, that's kind of weird, but okay, I'll allow it. The story of it didn't bother me, because the Empire's notorious on coming in and landscaping of everything, right? Yeah, right. Damn landlords, but
prosperity.
just come in there. I like they did some homages and stuff like that for Rebels when they do the little force push against ATST and everything like that for Kanan and Ezra whenever they stood no chance against Vader. But that little thing like right there, and whenever the one's falling down, the one has to do that. I couldn't help but think of Kenobi. And I was like, oh, man.
Yeah, but the sister that didn't want anything to do with the Force is the one that gets the Force, not the little girl that's been trying the whole damn episode.
That's...
Well, I like that they were also, like it did inspire, like, hope. They were like, we're not alone. Like, our people are with us, you know, in the stars, you know. I thought that was kind of I like that concept a lot.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
and,
well, I mean, even the look of, like, the factory was like a Geonosis droid factory, just the way they're running up top and like the buckets and stuff, like that was cool.
Yeah, the parkour.
But when as soon as I don't know what it is, and I don't get motion sickness or headaches or anything like that, but as soon as the ATST showed up, that's when the stop motion really clicked with me. I'm like, dude, this is like I'm gonna throw up. Like, just how choppy it was looking when it was doing that. I was like, ooh,
it's like more choppy than the OT trilogy, because the OT trilogy has some choppiness to it a little bit too when they're moving the the droids. But this one had a lot, of chop.
A little bad for me.
Too much chop.
So I will honestly go Ditto on this and just go Jedi Knight. I don't know where I'd place it, but it would definitely be Jedi Knight.
I was thinking highest Padawan, honestly.
Yeah, I was either thinking highest Padawan or like
lowest Jedi Knight.
Let me see what else. Yeah, I would say honestly, I would give it lowest Jedi Knight.
I'm fine with either. I said my piece.
Because Because there are some of them on here, like this next one. Like for me personally, I enjoyed the what is that style of animation? You know, the Wallace and Gromit style animation. Like the
Chicken
art,
Run,
the art for me. I love this art style. So the art for me is Jedi Master, but like the story and stuff like that for me, this was more of a Padawan,
Padawan
story.
Yeah.
But it did have some cool things. It had the what is the ship in Survivor?
The Mantis.
The Mantis, yeah, it had the Mantis in there. That was kind of cool. The bad mom and daughter ship kind of looked like a pseudo Darth Maul. You know, yeah. So it was funny. They had like the little Death Star laser, you know, the little Death Star orb, and you can see like Maz's hand take like the lightsaber in one of the back of the stalls. Like it's a fun episode. You know, it's not like anything.
It's cute.
Crazy.
It's for kids. You know.
Yeah. Exactly. The animation style was meant for, you know, the Toy Story type old school stuff and everything like that. The family aspect of it always pull at my heart, but
I guess this would be a good one. This one for like moms and daughters, I feel like this is like a really, you know, we get a lot of like father son type of dynamics. I feel like this is like one for like because like I feel like as a kid at some point you're always like embarrassed of like your parent at some point, you know, sort of thing. So it's like a relatable story.
Relatable,
like.
Everyone's going through that regardless of what. Yeah, so I like that, and also love how Wedge Antilles was in this.
Yeah, finally Wedge gets some love, man.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, he's the announcer guy.
Yep.
He's like, buy merch from my shop.
Like a boutique thing. I agree with that 100%. Padawan, just high Padawan.
And then the next one is Journey to the Dark Head.
Top of Jedi Master.
Favorite, ditto, yes.
I agree with you guys. I think this one... I think I like the... I mean, I don't even... It's hard because the art style of this one's really good too. I was going to say I might like the art style and Sith's more, but I like the story better in this one. But I don't even know. It's pretty close because this one does look really freaking good, man.
It's like Naruto.
Like Dragon Ball, Naruto, like all those like later.
But more for me was like the way they were telling the story was really symbolic, and how Star Wars is constantly that battle between good and evil, because Journey to the Dark Head, this girl sees this rock being a prophecy. She thinks, oh, I literally have to destroy the statue that is the evil one, and then the good one will be the last one, then the conflict's over, right? The Force always balances itself. So even when they're fighting on that like top ring, they switch colors. Like it's always not what it seems. The real Journey to the Dark Head was the Jedi kid decapitating the Sith. That was the head to take out.
Dude, so that was the cool actual looking. Prophecy. I like the mask with the.
I didn't care for the bedsheet cloth mask.
Really, dude, I thought it was cool.
I did.
It reminded me of Nihilus. It kind of had like he had like Nihilus kind of vibes, you know.
But Nihilus at least has like a skull with like a little crown thing going. I don't know. That's to each his own. But the point is that the whole storytelling, like subtle nuance to the Force, really strong with me. And that was a pretty cool duel that they were doing too. You even got that shot where she's like flying around or something, putting up the charges on the neck, and you see in the distance like the clash of the sabers on the ring was pretty cool,
dude. Oh god.
Because like most of the fights, like at least in books, when people are fighting like with light, they're specifically Jedi and Sith and stuff like that, like to normal people it's like it's just looks like a blur. It's too fast to see, and you get those moments in that fight because you just kind of see two sabers kind of going at it and everything's blurry and stuff like that. Like I like that aspect because Jedi and Sith are supposed to be like better, faster people, so like regular people would just look like blurs, you know. And I'm glad
that's why Luke in the EU is the most powerful Jedi. Yeah,
because he just looks like a blur when he's fighting.
He's described to be quicker than you could even imagine, and it took him and Crate to put aside their difference to take out Abeloth, which was a battle you probably wouldn't even be able to witness because it was so quick and everything was so precise.
Yeah, ditto. Good times. Me, oh my god, I got a lot. Well, it's funny at the very beginning how you said, you know, Naruto and a bunch of other stuff. This is the same animation company that does Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah,
and it is cool. Also the current timeline. Who I know actually good man, BMP. Going through Dragon Ball Super. Some of the artists that was involved with this. So, all right. I love this for so many reasons. It's my favorite episode out of this little batch of season 2. One, the Oriental philosophy. I love that so much. I love how they depicted the Force, not like how we traditionally do it, but more of like the yin and yang Taoism and everything like that. And ditto on what JT said. It's not about, you can't take one out without the other. It's always constantly.
Force is always balancing itself.
Like that.
Always in motion. The future is.
And I love how they make this brilliant depiction of whenever they do try and do that, the colors start to turn purple. And, red and blue together. But like, I love the designs for all the characters. Artwork is superb on this. The fighting mimicking more of a samurai Mongolian timeline of that, and the master or reluctant master having to get over the death of his teacher, and the Sith in this kind of representing a bit of even more Eastern philosophy type, history type thing, because of like his little like ponytail thing, doing that because they did have those back then, not like the hair stuff, but just like it's, I loved it, man. The sword stuff was amazing. The hint of, just like, the classical thematic of Star Wars, you want to join me? Come on, man.
Yeah, the temptation.
You go right from Wallace and Gromit's episode to something like this, and then I was not expecting Homeboy to get decapitated. I'm like, what?
It was well done, because
they show his shadow of like his head falling or something, like his body separated. Brilliant stroke of brilliance, genius in itself, because immediately when that girl sets off that charge, and I'll stop after this, is when she does it, realizes it, he's fallen, boom, head gone, and then everything like that. Then everything starts to line back up. Like they start to see, the head and everything. They start doing that. Also, I did love the image of the Jedi Council from times that we recognize, like the Clone Wars and stuff like that. But yes, this is definitely my favorite episode out of everything. I could go on and on about this, but I'm not. I'm just going to condense it. I love it.
I will say one thing, because you reminded me. I didn't like the parachute. I'm like, it's Star Wars, bro. Where's the jetpack set? Come on. Why are we using parachutes now? I'm like, give me some like Cad Bane leg rockets at the very least, or something. Like,
yeah, that did catch my eye.
That's a nitpick. It doesn't hurt the story. I just, that was where my brain went. I was like, I want jetpack.
Well, he started off the episode in like, she's a kid and she's looking at all these rocks, like facing up to the old sensei guy. And he's like, why can't we do this? Like questioning him and all that. Cause
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
Yeah. And then the way the council sees it, there's like doubts and stuff. That's kind of like the Phantom Menace. Like some believed Anakin, some didn't, and then that scene of like the kid, or no, the girl waiting by the ship, and she's like, "Oh, you're the one? Okay, come on, Jedi, follow me, whatever." Yeah. That was like, I don't know, a little bit reminded me of The Force Unleashed when Galen Merrick meets Juno Eclipse for the first time.
Juno, ditto.
Just the way they were standing in the
they got that banter,
and back and just forth. A little bit, snarky.
Yeah, for sure. Next, we have The Spy Dancer, and I thought this one was actually pretty good. I thought the story in it was really solid. I liked the mom son dynamic, of this one a lot.
The art style was a complaint for some. Like the stormtroopers were kind of bubbly looking. Didn't really bother me a whole lot. I noticed it, but it wasn't enough to take me out of the immersion. the flowing dress and stuff was pretty cool to see that the dance was actually incorporated into the spy mechanism part. Well, it
reminded me of the Revenge of the Sith, the opera. You know,
when they're going,
it kind of reminded me of that. You know.
Yeah, and the whole idea of like the dance being the reconnaissance to track down these Nazi operatives, basically, you know, quote, you put the tracker on when they least realize it so your Rebel Alliance can find them later, right? When they're least expecting it, they're having a good time enjoying the show. But then she got wrapped up in her personal idea mindset, and even when she had that flashback, she fell and she's like, whoa, was that really him? And then it turns, so that was pretty cool to see that.
Yeah, man. So, oh boy, you're good, Charlie. You're good.
Yeah, there's a little bit to unravel.
Yeah. It's just it'll choke me up if I'm not careful. The first time around, I was like, that's pretty cool, and everything like that. But a friend of mine, Catherine Lassell, introduced me to a channel Father Son podcast, and they were going through this, and they got to interview the entire cast of all these, and to find out that the reason this one will probably be up there for me is it is loosely based on a true story, because so the Spy Dancer is based on a French occupied spy during World War II. Her name was Josephine Baker. She was born in 1906 and passed away in April of 1975. And unfortunately, didn't get to see it, like her, offspring, her family really grew up enjoying Star Wars, and the thing they wanted to do to pay homage to their grandmother, at the time, was just to incorporate her life story into this. So this was based off of her experiences during occupied France. So the dancing and everything like that, I mean, I can only imagine, and all that sort of stuff, during that timeline of things like that. And it makes a lot more sense of why you don't see too much of, not too many Force stuff. We used to see, I mean, just ditto on what JT said about the, trackers and stuff. I mean, they really wanted to go pretty hard on this. Of course, adding the Star Wars flavor of it, but at the same time, tell what happened. Because this poor person had, go through this stuff for God knows how long. There's an HBO special on it right now that you can actually look at. I started watching it. It was very good. I highly recommend it. So the trackers, of course, representing, like, hey, wait till the Allies get here and we can kind of hope for a better outcome, which thank God it did. But the fact that this was based on a real person will always ring true when it comes to me and everything like that. And it made me go back and rewatch. I loved it. I loved that aspect in itself. The entire, like the episode and the story of it, I very much enjoyed, because I don't know why some people get hung up on the dancing and stuff like that. I'm just gonna ditto and echo off of that because
it's not lightsabers and pew pew blasts, man.
Yeah, because y'all need that, right? Sarcasm.
I love the opera dude that's playing the instrument. He sees that everything went to shit, and he was just like, I'm just gonna play harder.
Thank you so much for saying that. I love how they did a flash of almost like Krennic type of outfit for Imperial, and also love how they brought in a K2 droid. That was like
that was scary
with the red eyes. Yeah,
it was climbing, and then it grabs her dress.
Very Terminator. Yeah.
God. So I love that. I love the ending reveal of, that's her son and everything like that, and trying to,
you can always find me.
Yeah, and just that very ending of open thing where he just takes the eye patch off and
So Padawan? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Oh, what are you guys thinking?
Right under Darkhead.
Darkhead.
Jedi
Okay.
Master, yeah.
Okay. I think that's fair. I think it definitely requires, like, just because of like the story, is, you know, based on a true story. Like, dude, that within itself is like, I think is awesome. And then also too, like, honestly, yeah, like you said, like, I didn't mind the art style. Like, I thought it was kind of cool. Like, one of the stormtroopers was like super massive, and the other one's like it was very cartoon, you know, where you have like like a big guy who's like all like he's all like jacked up, and then you have like this scrawnier guy, you know, like it was very like stylized cartoon for me, you know. So I didn't mind it.
Did you see the C-3PO like protocol droid style mannequin with like the boa and like the hat and the makeup?
No,
on it
I have to go back
the
and check
dressing
that out.
room?
No, I must have missed that.
So, and I didn't mention this on the other live when I was talking about Visions too, but this episode reminds me almost 1-to-1. I don't know how I didn't click it. You ever see the movie Sucker Punch?
Yeah.
It's just like Baby Doll doing her dance, and then them putting the trackers on and not attacking when they should is just like her mother talking to the daughter in that episode. Like, basically, just we gotta do what we gotta do for now. All right, do your dance, and then we'll come back and we'll get our revenge. That kind of stuff. So
ditto.
All right, so next we got the Bandits of Golak. I think that's how you say it, Golak. What did you guys think about this one? Because I honestly thought the art style, I mean, it looks like they try to imitate Clone Wars like pretty heavily, right? Like it kind of has the same feel, which, so I can always appreciate that because I love Clone Wars style stuff. But then it came out, I was like, oh well, the fight at the end's cool, and then I didn't realize it until somebody had like said it, like it's essentially like the fight with Ahsoka and Maul.
They even do one of the same exact moves.
So I was just like, I mean, I was like, it was cool, but it's cool because they've already done it somewhere else that was equally as cool. So I'm like, I don't know if that makes it as cool now. You know, like, I don't know.
Yeah, and the thing is, too, like, going right into the episode, I was having high hopes because I saw the art style and I was like, oh, dude, no way. We're getting another Clone Wars episode in, like, the Empire era. And even the aliens on the train, the stormtroopers look awesome. They look real. Like they
the Purge Troopers look sick.
Yeah, the Purge Trooper. First time seeing Purge Trooper outside a video game.
Yeah.
And yeah, amazing looks, but it slowly lost me. It's understandable to see why the civilians would be mad that or disturbed that this girl used the Force, you know, in public. But then the plot line ended up just becoming, don't attack my sister. Haha, stormtroopers over here, I have lollipops. And then it's like a Polar Express running on the ceiling of the train, kind of. And then, like, the Marauders, that, like, the Resistance fighters came and they did, like, nothing, basically, I guess. They made it to the town. And the feeling outside of the train, like, outside of being inside of the train where you see the stormtroopers and aliens. Yeah. When they make it to that town, it doesn't feel like Star Wars. It feels like India, and nothing slighted or wrong about India. It's just, instead of it being Star Wars with like a little touch of culture of India, it felt like India with a tiny bit of Star Wars, you know, by just having, look at the design of the Inquisitor. Dude's got like doublooned gold chain stuff, very cultural to that, you know, that look. He's got the mustache and just like the way the town looks with all the blankets around. It's just that area. And also, add another Inquisitor to the list of Inquisitors that do nothing and get killed off. I saw him and I sighed out loud. I'm like, oh, dude, another Inquisitor. An old lady. She was cool, but I was kind of expecting her to win anyways, you know?
Yeah, for sure. There was no, like, real danger or threat.
Yeah, I just, the whole episode, there was no, I just didn't feel... like, and it could have been a lot better for me, honestly.
I agree.
Okay. No, I did not by any means hate it, but I did not love it. It was like perfectly balanced. I liked the whole train incident, like how that kind of opened up that way, and the the protecting of the family member and everything like that, because either they're too young to know what's going on and trying to impress, a family. Hey, look what I can do and everything. And at the same time, like, just stop. We're gonna get you
can feel the brother sister kind of dynamic for sure.
Yeah, and it was okay, decent. It really got my attention towards when they got towards the outpost / refugee camps.
Yeah, I think it was like just like a rest spot or something.
Whatever it was. I enjoyed that. Seeing another Captain Hook mustache twirl.
Right.
I hate Peter Pan.
The Jedi.
God, I love that movie.
I want my mommy. I want my daddy. I want.
Come on, Shmee. Oh God, I'm horrible. I almost said something.
What have you done?
Oh God. So okay, back to it. I almost said something really bad. I did not expect it to be the old lady, which to be fair though, that's the whole awesome thing about Star Wars. You pull it up on when it makes sense of people that you don't expect and everything like that. Like if you didn't know anything about New Hope and going into that, and old Ben being this powerful wizard, and I love that. And just I don't know, I like the way that happened. She pulls like out of the cane much how a very awesome Sith Lord does in another universe, and everything like that. The Inquisitor, just like the normal ones, meant to be annoying, full of themselves, and just over their own heads. But yeah, that mustache was pretty powerful. But it wasn't powerful enough to save him. How unfortunate.
No, unfortunate.
But it was a little heartbreaking watching the whenever did the water pull up and just
have to let it was a lot of family members. Like there was a lot of episodes about like just family members, like people leaving their family or their friends or something like that. There was a lot of that in the season.
Yeah. I laughed out loud, verbally when they did that slow-mo scene where they're like kicking the sand everywhere, and the purge troopers like and like the Indian music's playing. I'm like, what is going on? What am I watching?
So what would you? Because personally, I would say it's the top of Padawan for me. But what do you guys think?
Yeah. It wasn't the worst. It wasn't the best, but yeah, I'll definitely put it like top Padawan.
To me, I value it at the same as the one with the two sisters in the bottom of Jedi Knight.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think it would be Jedi Knight if they would have done because I agree, like the fight is cool, but the fight's cool because it's already been done. We knew that fight was cool, so it's kind of like hey, can I copy your homework? Yeah, but don't make it look like. It's kind of one of those sort of things for me. So it's just like, no
worries.
But no, the art style is great. I like the family aspect. But yeah, I think I have to agree with JT. It's like, that's the thing that George Lucas was like specifically trying to do throughout everything in Star Wars is to like not make it look like it's from this universe. Mm-hmm. And that's what this episode does is it's like India with a splash of Star Wars, which there's nothing wrong with that. It's just not Star Wars, but I guess if you're going to do it, this is the place to do it too. Cause it's like Visions, so it's like, if you're going to do it, I guess this is the appropriate setting.
Yeah. But don't take it too personal, right? No. But also go in with some expectation of how Star Wars is, so you know what to want, right?
Yeah. Well, like that's what I like it not being canon thing, because it takes the pressure off a lot of stuff. It's just like just do whatever.
It definitely simmers down the voices online.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. So I actually was not able to watch this one. I don't know. My Disney Plus was just like, nah, son. I tried to do it like 3 or 4 times this week, which it sucks because I've heard from a lot of people that this was a really good one. So I'm kind of gonna have to rely on you two. Okay. To rank it and tell me your thoughts on it and stuff like that. I don't care if you guys spoil it for me.
I was gonna say it's hard not to spoil it, when trying to rank it.
No, I'm not gonna be hurt by it. It's the only one I couldn't watch. So take it away.
Great, JT.
What you guys thought?
Okay, I like this one. I liked it probably as much as the Shriekers one at Jedi Knight. So it's probably gonna be right under it, but like, or in front of it, either or. I value them the same at top of Jedi Knight. But yeah, there was the big group of people that were under the jurisdiction of the Empire. I guess like they were pretty much they were slavers, and they were walking the desert, and they were being led by the stormtroopers, and they're like, dig. And they dug, and they dug, and they dug, and they...
The Star Wars holes?
They dug a mess. It's basically if they spent all the time, like, digging all those holes in the movie holes in one hole.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
it was
Makes
a
sense.
massive... It's the pit, right?
That makes sense.
It was... And you couldn't even see the bottom of it when they got to the end of it, right? So basically what happened is they dug it, and... the stormtroopers basically said, okay, good job, you did it. And they got all the material out. They did like cool like time lapse in the episode, and they left the people down there.
No
way. And then they have this massive city in the distance where everyone's living rich like on Coruscant. So they come out with this plan where this one kid's gonna like rock climb basically to get out, and this like animal helps him create holes for his hands so you can scale probably, I don't know, what would you say, like 250, 300 foot hole.
Jesus Christ.
And it's nighttime, so I'm gonna go get help. He runs to the city and he starts making a scene like, hey, we helped build this city. We're trapped down there. And the stormtroopers end up stunning him, dragging him across the desert. And they go, and he wakes up, and he's like, where am I? And the stormtroopers chuck him into the hole, and he falls to his death.
No way, dude.
So I like that the Empire...
This is dark.
Even though it's led by a group of stormtroopers, it still holds the brutality of the Empire, because they can't have any loose ends. No. Yeah, and they just need to get done what needs to get done, no matter the cost, no matter what's in the way.
Yeah.
So eventually, like... the people see his body and they're like mortified. Like the little girl heard a word from him. Like he was the inspiration for the little girl in that episode. And then the people start chanting. Their voices get heard to the city. The people in the city start to actually walk to the pit because of the dude that made the word. They basically 2 and 2 combined, and they went there. And then the stormtroopers came back, and they're like, hey, riot control, whatever. Long story short, the people, that was it. I don't know what else, Charlie, what else to describe.
I loved Dita. Yeah, it was another one that was very dark. Because like, oh, okay, cool, they're gonna get out, and you're just like, oh man. But I don't know if the creator from this studio took inspiration from this. Immediately, as soon as I saw the hole that they were climbing out of, I immediately went to The Dark Knight Rises with Bruce Wayne crawling out.
Oh, yeah, where he's in the pit?
The pit. So when I was watching, I was going, bish, bish, basa, basa, bish, bish, basa. And everything, like, what does that mean? Rise. It was good. Very dark, but very good.
I enjoyed it.
I know there's some voices in there that I've heard before, so I would definitely go back and look. But
and now Steve Bloom, the voice of Zeb, Tank Dempsey, he's a massive voice acting list. He's a very talented voice actor. Yeah. He actually voices a character in this episode, I believe.
Okay,
cool. So, all right.
But the art style is kind of like the Boondocks a little bit, just a little bit. Two little gripes though. Two gripes. One is a story breaking gripe. The other is just a thing that is kind of cheesy. The cheesy one was the very end where the little girl holds the kyber crystal. Doesn't make any sense at all. It's not related to the story really to begin with, because they dig up those the crystals in the bottom of the pit. But her holding the crystal, what are we to assume she's going to become a Jedi? Like you can't end it on something like that, because that's not a cliffhanger for something we're going to see, because these are experimental episodes and visions.
Unless in season 3, the thumbnail guy.
Yeah, exactly. And they painted this graffiti thing. I don't know. And unless they end it off like that and they continue it in Vision season 3 for whatever reason, then that would make sense. But you can't really cliffhanger on something like that. I didn't really enjoy that. But go ahead, Troy.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, I think the kyber crystal thing was just, this is a horrible scenario. we got to at least give some people like a little bit of hope or something like that.
Yeah.
So let's just do this and everything like that.
It felt very forced to just throw that in there.
Forced.
With her holding it.
Now, damn, you beat me to it.
But the story breaking gripe was throughout the entire episode when they're digging the hole and it keeps getting deeper. These people are walking down this giant ramp to get to the bottom. So when they were done digging, how do you even allow yourself to be trapped at the bottom when there's a huge ramp to get up top? Did they like dig the ramp down? Like, where is this dirt going once they get rid of the ramp? I just don't understand that. Like, how do you allow yourself to get trapped like that?
Well, I think it comes out of the writing.
That's just how it be. That's just how it be, man.
Where do the rocks go?
Can't think about it. You can't think about Star Wars too hard, and then it gets.
I can tell you where that dude's body went. It went straight down to the well. He woke up at the worst moment.
Yeah, fertilizer.
Yoink!
Yeah, what a way to wake up, dude. That'd be crazy. But so you guys think Jedi Knight?
Yeah,
yeah, definitely.
And then the last one, I forget how to say it. Ayu's? Is that how you say it? Ayu song?
Yes.
I didn't even finish this one.
Yeah,
really?
It didn't really have a for me.
Oh, that's
really
right.
A plot to it. Like personally, I would put it at the very. I think it's the worst one out of all the things. It wasn't bad. Like the art style was cool, but like the story, I was just like, okay, so she can heal like things through the Force by singing. I was like, I don't know. That's a little too
banana ship.
Yeah, it's a little too fairy tale for me. But the art style is cool. I will say that I did like the kind of like hand knitted, kind of like everything was sewn together art style.
Usually when you see an episode of something like this, you go to a few different locations to kind of keep it fresh throughout you watching it as well. Yeah. So like even the pit, even though you were in the pit, you still get a landscape shot out of the pit, a time lapse, you're in the city, like there's some variation going on here. In this episode, you get like the Avatar background with like the floating mountain rock looking nature vibe, but then you see that look through the whole episode. And this was my gripe the same way for Bad Batch Season 2 with that episode where they do the bad deal and then they're on Hawaii for like the whole episode. I scrolled through the thumbnail, I'm like, this has the same like flowery look, and I'm sure it's important, but I just don't.
It's not.
I don't. Like, it's some variation. You know what made Revenge of the Sith awesome? Mustafar, Felucia, Mygeeto, Coruscant, like holy Dagobah, like Yoda goes up, Kashyyyk. It's you need that variation. It keeps, I don't know.
Polis Massa.
Yeah, it was not my favorite, but I'll still look for the goods in it and everything. Just again, the family aspect of it, and of the singing healing has a better, more God, be diplomatic as you can.
Well, you can be constructive. You can say you don't like stuff without
be good. Like, so my bad looks like a balance between us.
Okay. It makes a whole lot more sense than God, Charlie. It makes a whole lot more sense.
It's hard to be good.
I know. Because it's retconned out of my head and stuff. All right, I'll word it like this. It makes a whole lot more sense. You like how I waited before you when you finished that drink, by the way, GT.
I know. Yeah. Responsibly.
Drink responsibly. That's the rule. It makes a whole lot more sense than some people that can force heal by touching. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, with the Force singing?
Yes.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I don't know. I feel like Force healing's more.
I can't take it.
All right, that was good. My turn. I was bored through the episode. I was just straight up bored. There we go. All done.
That's what I said. I think this episode is definitely more of like an art style is interesting than the stories. The stories kind of meh, but like it was cool because it was like I said, it literally looked like they were woven together. Like they look like yarn, you know. So like I think that's cool, but like
it was different. But even then, though, like the textures and the surfacing and everything, like I still wanted to see like a different look. Like maybe they go into like an underground section or like a big building at one time.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know, something.
Yeah. For sure. Well,
switch it up.
That's the ranking, man. I think I was gonna say like, oh, let's all pick our favorite one. I think we kind of already said our favorite one. We all kind of agreed, so we don't
look
need
at
to
that grid too. 3, 3, 3.
Yeah. I think we did good.
Rubik's cube.
I figured it was gonna be like this. I was hoping it was gonna be kind of evened out like this.
I mean, I don't like to brag, but we got pretty good taste.
Yeah, I think so.